So I did something incredibly stupid the other day. I was at a cafe, right? And I ordered an iced latte with oat milk. I was really looking forward to it. It was one of those days where the coffee is the only thing holding the fabric of reality together.
And the barista hands me a hot matcha tea.
Now, a normal person, a functioning, well-adjusted adult, would say, "Oh, I think there's been a mix-up." But me? I looked at the matcha, I looked at the barista, who was already stressed and shouting another name, and I just said, "Thanks," and walked away.
I drank the matcha. I don't even like matcha. It tastes like hot grass clippings. But I drank it because the thought of being difficult, even for 10 seconds, felt physically painful to me.
And as I was forcing down this lawn clipping soup, I realized, oh, here it is again. The curse of the good child. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? If you are listening to this, there is a very high chance you were the kid who was praised for being low maintenance. You were the easy one, the one who could entertain themselves for hours, the one who didn't throw tantrums in the grocery store, the one who, when your parents were stressed or fighting or just overwhelmed by the chaos of life, made yourself small so you wouldn't add to the pile. We wear this badge of low maintenance with so much pride, don't we? We think it makes us lovable. We think it makes us safe. But I want to talk about the fine print on that contract, because I think for a lot of us, being easygoing isn't actually a personality trait. It's a trauma response. It's a rebranding of self-neglect. Here is the funny, the dark funny thing about being the good child. You spend your whole life trying not to be a burden. You handle your own problems. You soothe your own scraped knees. You figure out your own homework. You become the therapist for your friends, the mediator for your family, the reliable employee who never says no. And then you wake up one day in your 30s or 40s, and you look around and you realize you are completely invisible. It's a specific type of loneliness, isn't it? It's not that you don't have people. You might have lots of people, but you feel like nobody actually knows you. And how could they? You never showed them. You were too busy being fine. We trained the people around us to believe that we don't have needs. We made it look so effortless to carry the weight of the world that nobody thought to ask if our arms were getting tired. And then we secretly resent them for it. That's the absurd part. We sit there seething, thinking, why doesn't anyone check on me? Why am I always the one reaching out?
But if someone does ask, "Hey, are you okay?" What do we say? "I'm fine, I'm good, just tired." We lie. We lie to protect the image of the good child. Because the good child doesn't have needs. The good child is a resource, not a person. I think this stems from a very deep, very young belief that our utility is the rent we pay for existing. Somewhere along the line, we internalize the idea that love is conditional on us not being too much. If we have needs, we are difficult. If we have boundaries, we are mean. If we are angry, we are ungrateful. So we just clipped those parts of ourselves off. We became human Swiss Army knives. Useful, reliable, compact. But we forgot to be the person holding the knife. I want to take a second to just validate how exhausting this is. If you are the person who always fixes things, who always smooths things over, who swallows the wrong order at the restaurant because you don't want to inconvenience a stranger, I see you. It feels like you're just being polite. It feels like you're just being chill. But actually, your brain is working overtime. Your brain is scanning the room, constantly calculating the emotional temperature, adjusting your behavior to ensure that nobody gets upset, nobody leaves, and nobody yells. That is not chill.
That is hypervigilance wearing a chill disguise.
And it makes sense why you do it. Really, it does. It was a brilliant survival strategy when you were little. When you are small and dependent, being good is a way to ensure you get taken care of, or at least that you don't get targeted. You aren't broken for doing this. You are actually incredibly smart. You learned how to survive in your specific environment. You learned that invisibility was a shield.
But the war is over now. You're an adult. You're safe. And the armor that saved you back then is suffocating you now.
Because here is the truth that terrifies us, good children. Intimacy requires being messy. You cannot be deeply loved if you are never known, and you cannot be known if you are always fine. Real connection happens in the cracks. It happens when you admit you're overwhelmed. It happens when you say, actually, this hurt my feelings. It happens when you send the matcha back and say, I'm so sorry, I ordered the latte. It feels dangerous. I know. The first time you set a boundary or express a need, your heart will probably pound. You'll expect the other person to leave. You'll expect the good child certification to be revoked. But listen to me. The people who love you, the people who really love you, they want to know you. Not the polished, low-maintenance, easy-breezy version of you. They want the real you. The one who gets tired. The one who has preferences. The one who is sometimes, dare I say it, a little bit high maintenance. So if you did it today, if you pretended to be fine when you weren't, or if you took on a task you didn't have the bandwidth for, it's okay. Be gentle with yourself. You're unlearning a lifetime of training. But maybe, just as a little experiment, try being a bad child this week. Ask for help with something small. Tell someone you're having a rough day without immediately following it up with, but it's fine. Or, God forbid, tell the waiter you didn't order the matcha. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be complex. You are allowed to be a person, not just a solution to everyone else's problems. You're just a human being. And trust me, you are worth the maintenance.